So, ladies and gentlemen, here's our first replay of the day. This is the Gremyaschy from tcfreer, a very near and dear to my heart fellow community contributor for World of Warships. He's joined us in voice, so feel free to say hi, sir.
Hello.
Ah, there we go. The Gremyaschy was one of the OG premium ships in World of Warships. Once upon a time, you could get this ship by buying your way into the closed beta test, which brought quite a bit of controversy for people. It was part of a standalone ship bundle, or you could buy all three of the ships. It was Gremyaschy, it was Sims, and it was Yubari. Those were the ones, okay? Those were the three. For the low price of $75 US, you could get all three of those premium ships. What a deal, huh? Yeah, such a deal. I went to my wife, I said, can I? She said no. So that's where the Lord Zath school of anything goes accumulating stuff in this game was born, because I said I will get this ship one day, and it took me about 3 years to get it, but I did. So Gremyaschy originally was busted as all heck, right? She's got very long range torpedoes at 8 kilometers. Her guns have really good ballistics and reach quite far, and her concealment is okay. Back in the glory days of stealth fire, she could shoot at things and abuse her concealment to not be spotted while she shoots in open water. She could be on ocean maps shooting stuff, and nobody could do anything about it. Sadly, that changed, and stealth fire is no more. And so Gremyaschy now is kind of not as OP as it used to be, huh?
It still has one retaining factor from the old era. And that's the shells. She still has 1% higher fire chance than the other guns. And I believe the alpha damage on the AG shells is also like 100 higher.
Because they were nerfed over time, I believe. Yeah, I think you're right. Now, today, Gremyaschy has really horrible turn time of the main guns. Their 8-kilometer torpedoes are still fantastic at tier 5. If you don't have Gremyaschy, but you have the tier 6 Anshan, you have Gremyaschy, it just up tiered to tier 6. And that's about it. So, shall we get to your build, sir?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so Gremyaschy build, TC's gone with main armaments mod 1, engine boost mod 1, and main battery mod 2. Do you play Gremyaschy a lot?
Not as much as I used to.
Okay, so the reason I bring that...
dip in every now and then.
The reason I bring that up is that engine module is always great for any destroyer that's got an engine boost, especially a standard engine boost. But if you don't play the ship a lot, instead of investing in coal mod for it, engine room protection is where you'd want to go. So I just want to highlight that for anybody who, should this video make it to YouTube, they understand.
That's a fair point, though.
Yeah. So you've got both turret traverse options here, and you can still see 180-degree turn time is like cruiser level, like heavy cruiser level turn time. So yeah, you have to plan in advance your gunfights, and you are not good in a close range like knife fight.
No.
If you have him, for that reason, Zemensky and Ovechkin are great commanders. Ovechkin is not available, but Zemensky is, and he has buff grease the gears. It helps.
And buff preventative maintenance as well. So Zemensky is really good for a destroyer where you do not want to lose your modules and you want to turn your guns quite a bit. So like, see, now you've gone down to 26.1 seconds versus 27.2. So you've dropped a whole second of the change for that. And then Ovechkin has grease the gears buff and also survivability expert. So if you've got Ovechkin, it's not a bad idea, but the problem I have with Gremyaschy is she almost requires a specialist build because there's other premium ships like Leningrad that you're probably going to play more.
You can share Gremyaschy and Leningrad. I actually do that. I run the same build on those two ships.
All right, so you had a standard captain though, right?
No,
No, it was Kuznetsov.
It was Kuznetsov. Okay. I couldn't remember because we were flipping through the setup there. But the thing with Kuznetsov is you get no bonus for the skills. You do get the talents. If you get first blood, you get an extra consumable, and if you get HP below 10%, then you get a heal. And it's harder for people to hit you for a bit.
Yes.
Okay.
It rarely procs though on the low tier destroyers because you need to get super low for it to activate, and by that point you're probably dead.
Well, 10%, right? So you're at 10% hit points, so you're basically at 1,500 hit point. So like literally 2 more shells hitting you and you're dead.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something as TC?
No. Please carry on.
All right. So Kuznetsov's okay, but I would agree with Grunty. I think Zemensky would be a great choice in Gremyaschy if you have it available. Now, one of them is usually coal, the other one is doubloons. But we'll see how you do with Kuznetsov in here. And your build is preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, superintendent, concealment expert. So that's like the core build. Radio location. And then you went with Mabas and, of course, Grease the Gears. Makes perfect sense for a destroyer like this. Superintendent maybe not as necessary because you don't have a heal here. So if this is for specifically Gremyaschy, I'd probably go with Adrenaline Rush instead of Superintendent.
Yeah, even if you want the Superintendent, I think Adrenaline Rush is better than Embers.
Well, that too. Yeah. Okay.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Do you share this captain within... Sorry, go ahead.
Kuznetsov I use across... Christ.
But like...
Kuznetsov I use across a lot of my premiums, and I think the only ship he's actually tech tree trained for is Vladdy. I don't think he's even trained for Kremlin or anything like that. So
okay.
I think I've kind of gone with a relatively conservative build for destroyers, rather than focusing specifically. One thing that I find personally with all the Russian destroyers as a whole, excluding the Strishme, is the turrets aren't as quick as I'd like them to be. So, you know, Gremmy, Ohotnik, Leningrad, and Kaba all seem to have fairly slow turret traverse. So I kind of hedge my bets that way. Rather than build specifically into something.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're using
a kind of a gun, kind of a jack of all trades.
Sure.
This is almost mandatory if you want to use them on the Gremmy and Leningrad.
And if you're using this on Nustrashimi or Kaba, then the Superintendent is very useful for the extra heal.
Yeah, if you use him on a destroyer that has a heal, then the Superintendent is good. If you don't use him on a destroyer with heal, I'd personally drop it.
But if you're sharing the captain, makes sense. So let's move on to flags. And Armored Prayer is absolutely correct. Premium time is where you start, and then captains. I said it before in one of my Zat chats. You want to have at least one premium ship for each nation if you can. So I'd go for that, and then you can go ahead and pick up the captains, the special captains. So anyway.
One more thing. If you use this captain on Gremmy specifically, like taking the range on the Gremmy is actually very viable. The ballistics are fantastic. So you'd have to give up relocation for it, obviously, but you can do that if you want.
You could. I'd rather have radiolocation. All right, so flags, you've got hit point flag, you've got fire, flood chance, speed, consumables, anti-air, and smoke. I would probably consider dropping the flood flag and picking up the fire extinguishing time flag instead. Because in those rare occasions when your DCP is down and your smoke isn't available, if you get set on fire, you want that fire out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, true.
I'd say just drop the AA flag. The AA is bad on the Grammy.
You could also drop the anti-air.
5% more.
Yep, you could also drop the anti-air. Yep, and maybe pick up the ramming flag. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you
Yeah,
get up
probably.
tier to tier 6, for example, then you're stuck dealing with subs, and maybe you have to ram one. Earlier you
Yeah.
get the commanders, the sooner you get absolutely armored prayer. That's why I said, like, one ship. We settled on one premium ship per nation, because then you can really start utilizing the benefits of that special commander. So,
The other thing as well, I suppose, when you look at stuff like that, I think it's important to bear in mind and keep in head. You don't actually have to buy the premium ships. You can earn them just by playing the game by getting called. Because you don't
correct.
have to spend money on them. Yes, premium time is probably the best spend on the game in terms of the consistent bonus that gives you. But premium time, but you know the ships you can pick up from call, and you know you don't have to actually spend money as such, which is which is a cheaper and more cost effective way of getting into it if you find you're enjoying the game.
Absolutely. Now I'm just catching up on chat. I saw all the back and forth with Scotch and all that. You're making me thirsty at 12 noon, just saying. An old black dog just got Gremyaschy in a Christmas crate, so this is perfect timing for him. Stackrow, hey. Now this is a replay render here, guys. So this is a game that has already been played by TC. And this is your main account, so you're on the EU server.
Yeah, this is my main live account.
Yep, and you're bottom tier. Congratulations.
Yep.
And you're going for it. You're going into the middle of the map. Now, this is... I don't recommend this because this is a standard battle. If it's domination and you've got the cap there, I could see the argument for it. But your concealment isn't the greatest. And I'd be concerned about that. I'd say, looking at the map here, I'd probably head this direction because you've got a Leone by himself. So I'd probably
There's
head that
also
way.
Kamikaze on the enemy team, which is very dangerous.
Yeah, Kamikaze. You got a Minakaze that's got decent concealment as well. Yeah, they're both 5.4.
And you got Anshan as well, which is same ship heighted.
Yep.
And I think it's got quick loading torpedoes, hasn't it?
Not quite sure at the speed. I think you're right. Anyway, you've been spotted by planes. You might as well turn your anti-air on and start shooting back at them. Oh well.
Yep, should have didn't think about it.
I mean, it's more important that you get into cover, so, you know, focus on that first. I talk about this with my chat a lot. I rebind my priority sector key to the V key, so I just literally take my finger off F, and boom, and there goes the anti-air. Well, hello, Anshan. He had the same idea you did.
Yeah.
And he has no survivability experts, so you should be easily able to beat him in a fight here.
Assuming it's a 1v1, yeah, but, you know, he's already been shot at once before. I would not have DCP'd those the torpedoes. You're also zooming in too much. So what you do there is you zoom in and then you tick back down a couple on the mouse wheel. You're trying to do too much at once here.
Yeah.
What the? Oh, that's the plane. That's the carrier. Okay, I was like, what the heck? It's so nice of this Anshan to keep the course steady so that you can get your other torpedoes turned for him.
Yeah. I'll leave us a smoke screen as well.
Well, now you might as well smoke
Okay.
up because you just got an extra smoke and you're being hunted by the carrier. So this is the perfect chance to smoke up right now and force him to leave. But it looks like you're going to use the other smoke instead, which is fine. I get it.
It's funny that there's two gunboat destroyers in a close range knife fight, and
In the middle of the map.
both don't shoot the guns, but instead it's torpedoes.
Hey.
Yep.
So he tried. He tried to shoot the guns. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And they say WoW's isn't a fast Twitch game, right? Well, meanwhile, Kamikaze went and did his thing on the other side. Okay, Kamikaze and Minikaze are on the far right. Your Leone is dead. What's up, Barford? So, you're gonna go straight for it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, where's the team on them?
The middle seems rather
No.
open. The problem is, because it's the standard battle, they're gonna see you coming when you touch the cap. And then you probably won't be able to surprise the enemy CV if he pays attention, just because the cap is capped. So...
Yeah, I was looking at the mini-map. The Budioni could have been a good choice to go after with AP. Hawkins as well would be a good choice. What's up,
I
Shice?
think you can gun this, even if it costs you a smoke afterwards to go down again.
Look what you just found. Switch to AP. Or you could... So right here, you've got two choices, right? One is you start using your guns. The other is you use your torpedoes. The problem with your torpedoes is you have to wait the 1 minute and hope that the Ranger just is blissfully unaware of everything. If you're going to do this, you have to make sure you don't go into the cap, though. Because as soon as you go in the cap...
In theory,
see what happens.
they should know.
In theory, they should know.
If you just turned a little bit sooner, you would have not touched there.
And slowed down.
Then again, you touched so short, he might still not have noticed.
It is a juicy kill indeed. And you can see the... Go ahead.
If I'm fair, I do try and be a bit cheeky.
I'd go for the Budioni here. Forget about...
Oh yeah, no. There's a reason I keep looking behind me and zooming in and then looking at the Budioni.
Could just do it in free look though, without
Yeah.
I do.
It's
I could,
Yeah.
I just don't. I
Whoa.
I know to do that. I just keep forgetting.
The bigger problem is when you keep going back and forth, is you're making it so you're taking your eye off the target, so to speak. You could have killed that Budioni a lot sooner, but you did get a double strike out of it.
That's why I was being cheeky.
Aha. Okay. Fair enough.
Whenever I try something like this, I get nothing.
Yeah. I know. I don't even bother either.
Like if it was Halsey, I would understand it, because you get the concealment buff.
Yeah.
But here, like you don't even get the flags anymore.
I was gonna say if you got the speed flag like you used to, then it's worth it, right? Let's get my lights back
there's
on.
at least an incentive for it.
So guys, I've fixed up my Stream Deck Plus. I'm so excited now, so I can change the brightness on it on the dial at any point. I can also change the color temperature as well to make me look more orange or less orange. So that's kind of fun.
You should, by the way, turn your AA on to get rid of that fighter over your head.
That's a good idea. This Colorado's going to turn into 2 torpedoes.
That's.
I think he's already.
Them all, and then he turned back in. That's.
Well, he has to. There's the island right there. Now you're about to come out of smoke. Here, I would probably put the engine boost on.
Engine boost activated.
I think I actually forgot that I've still got it on this one.
No, you just turned it on. I like the use of AP on the Hawkins, by the way.
Probably a little bit far, but it's worth a shot.
Whatever. But you can see the challenge with using guns on this boat. It's like your guns just don't want to turn.
Yeah, they're
You got
super,
Vermont
super
last night.
slow. Which is why relocation is really not a bad idea on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think that the AFT is great because it gives you a chance to open water gunboat at longer ranges, which is also very valuable, but it's a trade-off. You have to make that decision for yourself.
The thing that's really nice about radio location is it allows you to pre-turn your guns ahead of time. And because the guns are so slow, like that really does help a lot. Kamikaze. Kamikaze is threatening your cap. Hopefully 3 ships can kill it.
But you saw some of the true power of the Gremmy here, that it actually can play the stealth torpedo role in contrast to the other Russian destroyers. Like, if that was the Gnevny, no, what's the tier 5 Podvoisky? Like, even if that was the Gnevny, the Tech 3 tier 6, you wouldn't have gotten the torpedo hits on the carrier, you wouldn't have gotten the torpedo hits on that battleship, because they would have all been out of range.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why Gremyaschy was so popular for so long, and there were a lot of people that once Wargaming removed her from sale were just really upset because now they missed out.
Did you see the destroyer charging you?
I didn't until...
I just noticed it too.
Oh, very late.
I mean, you're too busy looking at the Issei. Up there you go. You see the smoke now. Well, Duckman, we're going to be doing, when we do live play, we're going to be grinding a lot of ships tonight, so that's going to be fun. Oh, this FR25, why?
Oh, were you grinding?
Yeah. This FR25, I was fully expecting this to be the end of my game.
Well,
Because
Maybe it can be a trade at least. Like,
just like the other guy. And Will to Victory!
oh my god, you actually procced it. It's
He
insane.
actually procced it. So he's going to get a little bit of a heal, which is huge. Now, it's even more huge on ships that have their, like, have a heal as well as a consumable. Special trick for those of you guys who have been listening into this point. When you have Kuznetsov on a ship that has a heal, always reserve your last heal for when Kuznetsov procs. It's a little greedy, but if you're playing on like a Kremlin or something like that, you have a good chance of being alive when the Will to Victory procs. And the reason I'm saying that is because what you do is you use that last heal at the same time Will to Victory procs. You get double heal, and it makes you extremely difficult to kill in a short duration of time. I love doing that with like Moskva, for example. Yeah, oh yeah, exactly, Vadeshi. It's very nasty on Nustrashimi.
It is. I have my Kuznetsov on Nustrashimi. But it's like, again, it does not happen very often.
No, but when it does, it's the stuff of legend. I like the turn here so that you don't get spotted by the planes. Very smart.
yeah, I was more worried about the fact that if you see what's left, there's only there's a Colorado against, I think it's that Colorado that we torpedoed earlier.
Yes.
Possibly.
That's still alive, that's still carrying on, pushing onto the cap.
Well, the nice thing is he's charging into your Colorado and presumably your carrier too.
Yeah.
Also showing nice broadside to your Colorado.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about him too much right now. I'd be more concerned about the Colorado and Issei on your Scharnhorst.
Yeah. Because he's not got a lot of health at Sharnos, and yeah.
All right, Issei is moving off. So here's where you can engine boost and try to get in front of the Issei.
Engine boost activated.
There you go.
And the Shano has decided he wants to die.
I mean, he was going to
chose-
die a long time ago.
And your Colorado also died. That is actually a problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vesser can kill the Colorado.
Can it?
Well, here's the deal. If you get into the cap now, that's going to force Issei Colorado to deal with you. You're just super low on hit points, that's all. No problem.
Yeah. The other thing is the time as well.
7 minutes.
Yeah, so we're down on points. We're also against the clock as well, so it's kind of not do anything.
It's always fun when you see a Vesser use torpedo bombers nose onto a Colorado. When he's got all the time in the world to set up for a sideways strike. Tells you everything you need to know about why the Colorado's still alive.
But at the same time, I don't want to touch the cap though, because it's
Not yet.
with the Issei with these planes floating about as well. It's
Right.
If the
not
easy
exactly
planes
what I want to
detect
be.
you and these battleships have shots on you, you're probably dead.
Yeah, you have to wait. I wouldn't torp the Issei here. I'd wait until the Colorado. You got to figure out what the Colorado's doing.
I'm not sure. Like, if you kill the Isa, you've won it. Because then
Yeah,
you can
he's-
play top boat for the rest of the
Yeah,
game
but-
and not
but the
worry
ISO
about anything.
But the Issei is 9 kilometers away and
I know,
turning
he's
away,
running,
so
yeah.
it's going to force him into the cap, which is what we just said we don't want to do. What's up, Bokako? Issei is too busy dropping on the Vesser with his hybrid planes. Oh, you're guessing the Colorado's coming around the corner? Okay.
Well, that's where RPF descends. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, your Vesser's getting plenty of practice. Let's call it that. Plenty of practice dropping on this Colorado. Let's see what he does for damage. Vesser's going to get himself killed.
Engine boost deactivated.
All right, so at this point, you said to heck with the Colorado. You're going back to support your team?
Yeah.
I mean, you only need 1 kill, right? At least at the moment.
And lowest health ship is also the one, well, that I'm aware of, is the one that's going to be potentially capping. So it makes more sense to, if he's going to be constantly trying to deal with the CV, I might as well, you know, I'm last seen down and around the cap area, and the fact that torpedoes have just gone round the front of the Colorado is he's still down here. The Gremyaschy, like we said, is, I mean, it's one of the quicker DDs that, or one of the quicker DDs it used to be. Might as well make use of it and turn around and head back up here.
You also get the ability to smoke and gun for free, basically, while the Vesser's spotting for you. So there's that, too. If that's the case, I would be turning your guns left here, because you're probably going to want to turn to the right and smoke and shoot him. So turning left earlier, I think, is a good idea for you, especially for your rear turrets. Every time you look to the right of your ship, your rear turrets flip the wrong way.
Yeah.
This is a hard lesson I had to learn the hard way with the OG Furutaka. For those of you who played long enough to remember that. That's the tier 5 Japanese heavy cruiser with single 203 millimeter barrel guns, and boy, they have glacial turret traverse. They turned like battleship guns. And it was single, so there were 6 of them.
I think this is where you start smoking. I think you're
Either
close
smoke or
enough.
torp first, and then smoke after the torps go. You know, you've decided that they're not going to hit.
I would not wait for the torpedoes to
What's up,
hit.
Evil
it.
Homer?
You cannot, because if he gets in the cap and blocks your points gain for long enough, the kill isn't even enough. You
Right.
need to kill him rather quickly.
Well, here's the other part of the problem. The carrier
You just
planes have
tell
just
the
disappeared.
I mean, you just tell the Weser to only spot it.
Do you really think he's going to listen?
I don't know, but
How you doing, Evil Homer?
you might as well ask. Also, he just DCP'd a single fire, so...
Yeah, well, that's ripped to him.
Yeah. That's
He is in the cap.
Torpedoes get there in time.
Right. So like you said, he's in the cap, so that is slowing down your point generation. The carrier actually hits with those torpedoes because he's too busy dodging your threat, so he shows a lot of side. And there's the kill for the Kraken! And you are up on points by 17. Wow.
Yeah.
Assuming that's
Well, now it's-
accurate.
Yeah. Because
It
that's
was
a
like-
case of they've got to come through the middle to win. So it's, I think at this point I just decide to play safe and stay away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there. Issei is once again trying to play a carrier, which is good. That just takes him out of there. Armored Prayer, he could possibly snipe the Vesser if the Vesser doesn't, like, understand how to turn. And that's really up to them.
I think the Weser is too healthy, but maybe...
It's going to take at least 2 strikes.
You should fall back a little bit and stay away from this island. So you
I agree
don't
with you.
accidentally get ambushed.
When you play a ship that's a stealth ship like this, islands can actually work against you because you can't see around them, and then you come out and then you get surprised.
I think my view on this is I'd rather be in the middle where I've got exits to go out that will give me cover. So I can I can go through where sea is and stuff like that, or I can flick back onto the island. But I want to
Yeah.
see where they are, and so that we know, so that if they're heading through the middle, the vessel can, the vessel should be going spotting. That should be
So-
a sensible thing. But if he's
So-
not,
The problem is you're so low. If you just get spotted once and they have the guns turn in the right direction, they fire, you might go dark later 5 seconds, but that one shell
Yeah.
might just end you.
The big
Yeah,
problem
exactly.
is if you're looking at it from that perspective, you're far better off being in a kiting away position than pushing in position like you have been. Until you know exactly where both battleships are, then you're welcome to go in and, reposition as necessary like you're doing right here. Hey, SF.
The ease is all the way in the back there.
Issei's been playing
Issei's-
carrier. That's fine for you.
Mm.
7 seconds, you win. GG.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get surprised by a battleship that's using the islands, let's say this Colorado is like up here, and you come on, you see him, it's going to take you so long to get back out of trouble. Yeah, you can smoke a little bit, but you're still risking at least one salvo on you. So that's where I think, if you want to go mid, I get it, I understand, but don't be going full speed. Don't be going full south. Kind of go, side by side, kind of like you're attacking up a mountain or something. You know what I mean? Like back and
Yeah.
forth. Colorado got a shot off on the Vesser. That could have lost the game right there. It could have. Absolutely, Vladeshi.
Yeah.
But it didn't. First place. Nice job. 2 devastating strikes, a double strike, a Kraken, a first blood, and a high caliber. Nicely done.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. I'd be pretty happy with that game.
There's still, I mean, like you pointed out, and like chat have pointed out, and Grunty and Grunty yourselves here as well. There's still plenty that needs working on it.
Sure.
I mean, these
But-
close-range knife fights with the other destroyers, they can easily end in mutual destruction if you
Oh, yeah.
end up in that situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fact I
Yep.
didn't is more luck than anything else.
Let's go ahead and get the replay render tool up. And I think if this one goes to YouTube, I think we're going to call it Knife Fight. Since you had 2 of those. Unless you guys can think of a better title.
No.
I was like something
I'm
like
fine with that.
jousting because it was a knife fight with torpedoes. Those knives.
Yeah, premiuming the guns is huge, and that's why radio location comes in helpful for this ship.
Yeah.
Also, happy
going
Sunday,
back,
SF.
you saw it back. If you want to go dedicated Gremyaschy, we didn't need all these smokes. I really believe the SI for this type of destroyer is not needed. But
Yeah.
obviously, if you use it on all your premium destroyers and some of them have heals, you gotta compromise.
Right. I'd say, so I would use Kuznetsov on premium destroyers that have heals, and I might look at Zemensky, for example, on destroyers that don't have heals, because the buff grease the gears and the buff preventative maintenance are so nice on destroyers. Hey, Thought Twit.
Yeah.
And yeah, getting comfortable with locking guns using Control X, or like Renty said, free look using the right mouse button to look around instead of just, looking and making your poor turret operators like, stop it, Captain.
I'm tired, boss. Don't want to turn the turret again.
Right? But, I mean, wow. You nailed basically 3 people that were unsuspecting there. Hi, Invictus, right? Like 3 people that were just, yeah, wild.
Yeah. I got away with a fair bit.
You did indeed.
I mean, the FR-25, he should have had me dead. There's the sap on that. The sap on that and the reload. The turrets again on that aren't particularly quick, but they're quick enough to work. And the fact that it's sap as well, is going to absolutely. I mean, it took what, nearly 6k, 7k off me there to get me
Yeah.
down to 1400. He was one shell away from killing us, and for whatever reason, he didn't pull the trigger.
Right.
He would have been loaded. There's no question about that. So it's, why his turrets didn't why he didn't shoot the turrets. It's a question. It's more, I suppose, the luck of getting away with things.
FR25 has 15-second turret traverse too. You were so close. There is a chance he actually out-rotated his turrets.
Oh, definitely. And I think that's the reason why he held his course for so long. He was trying to let his turrets catch up, which is ultimately what got him killed.
Yeah, because he did. I mean, he played the ambush push perfectly right, smoke and then boosting straight in. But just the fact that the fact that he didn't get that last shell. I mean, that's all it would have been. One sap shell would be more than enough.
He also dumped his torch way too early.
Yeah, you expect again. That's smoke screens are torpedo magnets. It's 101 of playing the game, isn't it? But the other side of it is that the other side as well is though that if there's a smoke screen, you don't aim at the front or anything like that. It's it's wait until you see them pop out somewhere as what I would normally wait and do. I would normally just chuck them.
And Armac, yes and no, because the problem is that if his turrets were going the opposite direction of which way he wanted to turn, like if, for example, he had to turn left to get his turrets on target, then that could be problematic for him. And it's very possible that he wanted to simplify things. I mean, not everybody in this game is like super twitchy, action star-ish, you know what I mean? So
in terms of the zoom in and zoom out as well, I just constantly pop in and out when there's another ship close by, just because I don't want to be. I just want to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around me.
Right.
So,
It's easier with a right click than with the zooming, though.
Yeah.
True, but I'm tapping shift in and out. I'm not actually scroll wheeling, so it's same effect, but I guess. Like you said, because you're zooming out, it's giving the turrets chance to tweak and twerk around. So, that's just my own personal preference of popping in and out and seeing who's around me and who else is shooting me, or if there isn't anybody. Especially with the Anshan at the start, because it's a case of are any of those ships, like the Hawkins, for example, have they pushed that 6-line gap as opposed to the 7-line gap that he went up? Because if you push the 6-line gap, that would have been a very different engagement.
Well, and I think that's where, if you're coming up close to somebody, what you do is you tick back on you zoom out 2 or 3 levels with your mouse, wheel when you're at max zoom.
Scharnhorst is reversing into the enemy team.
What's wrong with that? Anyway, and if he has the ability to that way you can zoom in and out with the shift button, and that completely allows you then to better control the situation, because when you zoom back in, you're not zoomed back in at such a high level that you can't track your turrets and stuff like that enough. Yeah. And see, the Scharnhorst reversing actually kills the kamikaze. So I don't know why you're laughing there, because quite frankly, I think that's a perfect play for the Scharnhorst. He knows the kamikaze is coming after him. Why move forward and give him a better angle? And not only that, but reversing allows him to use his guns and secondaries at anything that charges him from the south. This part is dumb on the Scharnhorst. This is the part I might laugh at, because come on, why are you charging 2 healthier battleships than your one? Anyway, TC, this was a great replay to start with, man.
No, you're welcome, no problem.
So thank you very much for the raid, of course, and for sending that replay in. That was really good to look at.
Oh, no worries, you're welcome. Cheers for the points.
Yep, cheers.
Right.